Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video on blue-white, or what I like to call a tempo, Merfolk list. Now, the deck is, like most of my decks, exactly what you think it is. It is some Merfolk designed with some disruptive elements to try and tempo out our opponents. We use this with new cards like Old Sea and Sky, and older cards like Reejerey and Silvergill, and again, newer cards like Master of the Pearl Trident to form our Merfolk base. The rest is our little, I guess you call it tempo-y sort of package, with new cards like Esper Sentinel and older cards like God's Willing or Swan Song or Dovin's Veto and stuff like that, to try and continually delay our opponents until we can eventually use all that delay to sort of translate it into a win. Now, before we go onto the sideboard, the one reason why I'm not running blue-green Merfolk, as some of the cards in the format will allow you to do, let's see if we can show you real fast. Mist Binder. Why I'm not running like blue-green versions of this with Mist Binders and Collected Companies is simply because there are so many very control-heavy decks that we kind of need more, say, non-creature interaction in the form of like Dovin's Vetoes or Esper Sentinels and stuff than we do the just raw power of like a big board that blue-green provides. Blue-green is just more, susceptible to all your spot removals and sweepers. Blue-white, in my experience, is significantly less so. Now, with that little bit out of the way, the sideboard is now up next. Pretty simple. Some graveyard hate, more non-creatures if we need to counter, other things than non-creatures. Absorbs are here. Some more Skyclave apparitions for some board interaction. Teferi's protection against if there's any weird, goofy combo deck. Some time wipes for some board wipes, as well as the ability to at least somewhat save our board. And some Approach of the Second Suns against opposing control players. If you feel like they're going to, or some other deck that wants to go forever and has a problem actually killing you, Approach of the Second Sun gives you a sort of alternate win con to bring in against those if you needed to. And that is blue-white Merfolk, or tempo Merfolk. With that out of the way, we'll just go right into game number 1. Game number 1 with our blue-white Merfolk list, and like always, we'll play first because we have a brain. This is an okay hand. It's not the greatest in the world, but we have 2 lands and things to play off them, so don't think we'll look a gift horse in the mouth too much if we can avoid it. Come on, opponent, just let me play my cards. There we go. We'll go ahead and Seagate on 1 untapped, since we have nothing to do with the turn anyway. Next turn will likely be a Silvergill Adept. See, Fabled Passage from our opponent. And thank you for immediately cracking it. Finding a snow-covered mountain. So something 2-color that uses snow color as base. Again, we'll still keep with the Adepts. Go ahead and reveal a Reejerey. Haven't drawn any extra lands, but even if we don't draw lands for a couple turns, we do have plays. Snow-covered island from our opponent. Improbable Alliance! Alright. I'm not even mad. This player is a person after my own heart. We'll go ahead and play a Master of the Pearl Trident and swing with our Adept. Opponent untap. You can pretty easily start hitting your Improbable Alliance triggers. The Snarl from our opponent. Untapped, so they have another island in their hand. Fire Prophecy. Okay. Alright, that's a little... What I have... Oh, right, the Alliance makes you draw a card, so that's not bad. Alright, that's not bad at all. Again, we haven't drawn any extra lands, but we have the ability to just keep on playing stuff. So we'll just repeat the turn again, playing a Master of the Pearl Trident. But now, since they've shown islands, our Pearl Trident Island Walk little bit is going to be particularly relevant. Snarl from our opponent, revealing a steam vent. They attack with their little fairy. They don't, which is, I mean, okay. Royal Scions to probably make another one. Another fairy. Or they can make their one fairy big. Okay, they choose to loot, making another fairy with their improbable alliance. Okay, that's another island. We can do something with that, honestly. We'll go ahead and just play the Revealed Reejerey. And just probably, well, I'm actually gonna go ahead and just attack their face. I think we can afford to do this. If we can make them feel like they need to chump block our Master of the Pearl Trident here, we can really make some stuff happen. Let's see, another island from our opponent. Iron Crag Pyromancer, likely going to loot to
a quest of mystery.
Both make another fairy and now shoot one of my dudes. Yeah, probably the smarter play here. And a wizard class from our opponent. Okay. Not bad, not bad. What do we do here? We could play another Reejerey, tap down their Iron Crag? Yeah, we'll go ahead and tap down their Iron Crag, play a big board. Right now, we're just going to try and get a lot of information out of this. Probably going to bring in some apparitions and some Thalias, maybe? Let's see if they level 2 their wizard class. Again, bolting something of mine and making another fairy. Play another improbable alliance that they no doubt just drew. Don't think we can win from here. We could play a Reejerey. We could then tap down their fairy, maybe? As silly as that seems to do. Seems to be to do. We'll go ahead and attack both into the Royal Scion. See what they block.
Get away from me!
Yeah. We can go ahead and play this out, but I don't think we win this game, game 1, and that's fine, honestly. Let's see. Loot with the Royal Scions. Yeah, we didn't win. It's over. Let's be honest. Okay, let's see. Bring in some Thalias for some non-creature hate. Some apparitions for some ability to interact with the board. We'll cut down some of our Merfolk package. God's Willing is pretty useful here. Trickster, they aren't running a whole lot of creatures, so we could probably cut a couple of the Tricksters down. And that'll be how we sideboard. I do think we can win this. We also would help if we drew more lands, unlike last game. This is better. We can do something with this. We'll go ahead and play an island on turn 1, sorry. So if we need to, we can always swan song away their improbable alliance. Or something big like that. Plains on turn 2, and we'll play a Thalia. Opponent just has one snow-covered mountain. At least now they can't play their improbable alliance, so we can always hover that. I think we're not going to play anything, we're just going to attack with the Thalia and try and hold up some interaction. Another island from our opponent. Probable alliance goes to on the stack. We'll go ahead and Swan Song. We don't mind giving them a bird, especially with Thalia on the board. We'll play the island. Probably play the Reejerey. Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and play the Reejerey. And we'll attack with our Thalia. They choose to let it through. They could have some sort of red removal spell, or that. They managed to get another alliance in play, and then hit us with their bird. So we'll go ahead and just attack. Both of our boys here. Good. God's willing on our Thalia to protect it from Fire Prophecy. Staggering Insight's pretty good, so we can actually start to gain back some of our health loss here. If they attack... Okay, they didn't attack with the Swan, so we're gonna Merfolk Trickster. I guess since... It doesn't really matter what we do here. We'll use the Reejerey to just untap a random land. And we'll use the Trickster to tap down their bird token. We'll go ahead and Staggering Insight on the Thalia, since that's the most resilient creature on our board. And just attack all. Ooh, alright, we do a Glacial Fortress. Don't have any instant speed interaction in our hand, but we do have another Thalia, should our first Thalia die. See what our opponent does. If anything. We're hovering over the Thalia. Old Blaze of the Thunder Raptor. That doesn't... Yeah. Yep. I imagine he thought that didn't exactly work like it did, and that's fine. We've all made mistakes like that. Hell, this whole YouTube channel is filled with them. I like our sideboard strategy, so I think we'll just go ahead and run it again. Let's see who's gonna win this game. Okay, our opponent goes first. We have 2 lands. Some creatures to play on the board, and some Dovin's Veto. Yeah, we'll keep it. Not bad. Go ahead and Hallowed Fountain tap, since we have nothing to do. Opponent has an island out. See what they do. We play Fabled Passage, which is good. We'll go ahead and play our Glacial Fortress, and just hold our Dovin's Vetoes up. And if nothing else, we can always just Merfolk Trickster on their instep to develop a threat on the board. Make sure to put a stop on their instep. So we're less likely to forget. They crack the passage and go look for an island. Or a mountain, sorry. And then play another mountain on their turn. Probable alliance, but nope. Dovin's Veto. Get that fish out of here. Go ahead, my turn. Again, we'll do much the same thing. Just gonna keep a Veto up, and if they play nothing, we can just play a Trickster. Another mountain from our opponent. Frantic inventory, by all means, draw your cards. Go ahead and play our Trickster. It could very well die to some sort of instant speed removal in red, but that's fine, we don't mind that. That is not awful. We'll go ahead and just attack, since I think they have some sort of interaction in their hand. I would not be the most surprised to see something like that. And we're actually just gonna, yeah, let it through. More so right now, we just wanna be able to Dovin's Veto like an Alliance or like a Royal Sign or something. Frantic inventory again, by all means, go right ahead. We have to play something or we're going to lose cards to hand. So we'll go ahead and play the Silvergill in revealing our Sea and Sky. Ideally draw land. Okay, I should have specified for a white land so I could play the Esper Sentinel, but that's my fault for not specifying. Of course, if they do play anything that's particularly problematic, we can always Skyclave Apparition it. Alright, the Blitz of the Thunder Raptor gets rid of the Silvergill, but really it arguably did its job of finding us a land. Our opponent has 5 mana. Prismari Command shocks me and then loot and then faithlessly loots. Chucking some lands. They might have just happened to flood out with their hand, but I'll take whatever meager little comeuppance I can get. We'll go ahead and Thalia first. This way, the average 2-mana red removal spell won't be able to interact. We'll go ahead and play an Esper Sentinel. And hopefully this little board here will really help to show the sort of necessity for the ability to mess with non-creature spells that facilitated me changing this deck. Well, okay. I mean, that sucks, but even things like that, the Sweltering Suns, has shown that there's a lot of non-creature shenanigans running around the format that, again, as I was trying to talk about earlier, facilitated the switch from blue-green to blue-white that I did midway through the week. We'll play an Esper Sentinel, and we'll just keep a Veto or a Memory Lapse open. Fire Prophecy. I think we'll actually Memory Lapse that, since we have the ability to deal with it again next turn. Does he pay the spell or the taxing effect for the Sentinel or not? He does. He might have another spell. If you draw a land, that's not a land game. Okay. If they... We're gonna Staggering Insight on our Esper Sentinel. Hope to find a land to protect it. But even if they choose to remove it now, odds are we'll replace the Insight, since they won't be able to pay for whatever removal spell. Kind of like that. Okay, I mean, that stinks a little bit. We did draw a land, but it was an untapped land, so even then our original plan would probably not have worked. Our opponent does nothing with their whole turn. You know, I think I'm just gonna play old Sea and Sky here. It could get countered, maybe, but they haven't shown to run a lot of counters. They need something like another Blitz to get rid of it. Ooh, I don't think I ever saw the Pearl of Possibilities whole card. That's pretty cool. Oh my Fry! Alright, that's a good sideboard card. I had totally forgotten that was a thing. Hi, Karma! Hello, brown sugar baby. We'll probably just Skyclave Apparition this, like, immediately. That thing can really pick apart our board in their deck. That's not the worst. Yeah. Hi, brown sugar, my little tiny fur baby girl. Let's see, Apparition on their Iron Crag. They might be able to shoot it in response. But if I remember how the interaction works, yeah, you don't want to do that. He might very well get rid of it now. But that's fine. This is one of those cases where, yeah, we prefer him having a 3/3 over stuff to kill us with. Probably just going to get bonked with the Great Token. Okay, we can Master of the Pearl Trident here. We have a Dovin's Veto to hold up for our interaction here. Next turn, we can hopefully stick an Insight onto it. Since we don't have the ability to cast 2 spells, we're probably just gonna veto it to get rid of it. Yeah, we don't want them to draw a card, so we're gonna go ahead and Dovin's Veto the command here. As I scratch my little baby girl. I know. My little brown sugar baby. We're not gonna take that block, because that's a trap. We very well just have another removal spell. Glacial Fortress is nice, not gonna lie. We'll go ahead and Staggering Insight on our Master of the Pearl Trident. We also have Memory Lapse, since I imagine they have some sort of... Oh, that can't be countered, right? Yeah, and that specifically says counter, so it's not like a... Ah, that sucks. Okay, it's a little less than ideal. We're okay, though. Like, we're not, like, dead. Royal Scions, I can't deal with you this turn. I'm gonna need you to hold on for a minute. Yeah, little girl. Baji, baji, baji. Being a little booty. I know, thank you. Thank you. Let's see. It's 5 mana to activate it. We can always use that mana to... Or we can always use that to block the token. But if he... Well, I guess that depends on what he does, right? If he... Flying tramples the... Or if he... Whatever, First Strike tramples with the Scion, we're in some trouble.
Aye, with the knowledge to direct it.
Alright, he didn't do the thing, so that's something.
Quest of mystery.
I understand why he chose to loot there, but I think that was the wrong play. Unless he has some sort of removal speed thing in his hand. How many fries does he have? 1, 2, 3... I'd be surprised if he has more than 3. Hall of Storm Giants is something. I think we still have to just sit here and try and use the Cave of the Frost Dragon as a sort of removal spell. Well, that's not good. Hopefully he doesn't catch on to like what the proper course of action here is. Karma, I love you, but you're like so fluffy. Like in the summer months like this, it's like miserable sometimes to cuddle with you. Another off from our opponent. Not doing like the world's most stuff. Again, chooses to loot. I understand again why he does this. Of course, he might probably, or he probably has some sort of removal spell in his hand. Okay, an Iron Crag, that's something, honestly. Okay, so we can might turn this. We could see in Sky here, right? Because let's see. It's only the second card, it's not any card past the first, so we can only deal 3 damage to the Sea in Sky. So yeah, we're gonna Sea in Sky, hope he doesn't have this thing. Hopefully this will allow us to sort of like rebound here. Okay, he draws and discards again. Does he Iron Crag? He Iron Crags my face, which is honestly a good call. I can't really begrudge you that much for that. Chooses not to attack, though I do understand why. I think we're gonna Cave of the Frost Dragon and send the Frost Dragon at their Royal Scion, since we don't want old Will and Rowan there to ultimate here, since we kind of can't deal with that. He would have to be able to... Okay, that's 1. He has to be able to draw another card this turn, which is admittedly possible in his deck, but I think that's his 3rd opt. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a play set of ops, though. Okay, he's looking for something. God damn it. Why did he not... Why did he not use that to remove? I'm confused. So, combat damage to a player, draw a card. 2, 3, 4. We'll go ahead and send them both at Will and Rowan. I don't know if this will help us live. Or does he have like a 4th fry? Okay, he just has 4 fries. Alright, that's fine. There was nothing okay, yeah, that's it. Good game from our opponent. They brought in 4 very particular sideboard cards. Not bad, though. Fun game. And honestly, against a deck archetype I can't remember the last time I've seen. Anywho, on to game number 2. And game number 2 with our blue-white tempo-y Merfolk. Again, play first because we have a brain. Well, yeah, we can keep this. We'll go ahead and Hallowed Fountain tap since I... The only thing that I'd hate if he plays like a Thoughtseize or something. Ah, goblins. Okay. I think we can do okay against that. Whether he's playing the older school mono red version or he's running red-black goblins, which became a thing now thanks to Historic Horizons. Go ahead and play a Master of the Pearl Trident. It could die next turn for all I know. Let's see. I think Phyrexian Tower is actually a little more. Well, Phyrexian Tower was good in the old versions too. But I had forgotten that Phyrexian Tower does still make black mana. You know, for your Sling Gang, Lieutenants, and all that stuff. See what our opponent wants to do here. The annoying thing about Skirk Prospector is... The annoying but smart thing about Skirk Prospector is that it gives, yeah, all kinds of priority. We'll go ahead and Hallowed Fountain and untap. Play a Reejerey and just trying to hit him in the face. Let's see. Our game plan right now was just to play more Lords and try and develop the board and outrace them. But I'm thinking to the next game, and we're going to do sideboard or post-sideboard. Might bring in some Absorb since they have a lot of creature spells we want. I'll bring in some Absorbs and take out some Vetos. Let's see, they find a Matron. Swan Songs can probably get cut also, actually, for the Absorbs. And then I think we have an Archon in the sideboard, but I could be wrong. Let's see. I think he might be able to get it next turn, which is a little unfortunate. Go ahead and Master of the Pearl Trident. Get rid of old Skirky there. Just looking to maybe pressure them into making a trade they don't feel the most comfortable with making. But yeah, they just kind of let it through. I think they can cast it next turn, right? They can sack a goblin. Okay, maybe they can't. Which is nice. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Needs one more for Muxus. If we could draw another Merfolk here and try and make some stuff happen, that'd be great. Okay, we can do that. We'll go ahead and Silvergill Adept, just paying the full 5. We'll tap down the Wily Goblin. Maybe by making them use their, or block with their Skirk Prospector, it will further fudge up their mana a little bit. Of course, Silvergill drawing a card, but it's not really why we played it. We're just looking to, you know, try and kill them, since they can't just, they have to block 2 of our creatures to not die. So that almost immediately, barring some sort of removal spell, which Goblins doesn't usually have, though he might have Ammunitions Expert. Oh, he just... Okay. Alright. I thought he was going to block there, but that's an option. Oh yeah, we took that out, didn't we? So Absorbs come in, Swan Songs come out. That case, probably Vetoes come out, and Skyclaves come in. And then maybe like a Time Wipe here would be kind of useful. Maybe we get rid of one Esper Sentinel for another Time Wipe, since the Esper Sentinel's little non-creature taxing effect is not going to be the most useful in a Goblins matchup. Again, our opponent will likely go first because they have a brain in their skull. Clear, easy mulligan all day long. We're going to keep it. I'm just thinking about what to get rid of. It might be... Actually, will be the Trickster, since we don't have a second blue source in hand. See what our opponent does. Mountain with nothing. We'll go ahead and Hallowed Fountain untapped for an Esper Sentinel. Next turn, if we draw a Merfolk, we can play Adept, or we can just play a Staggering Insight. This is the million-dollar question. I think... Let it be... We'll play second blue source, actually. We'll play the Staggering Insight on the Esper Sentinel, and be happy to make this trade, since the Snoop is useful to their plans. Okay. More lands on top, so they're not really running particularly well. So we're going to go ahead and attack with the Sentinel again. We can always Merfolk Trickster as a combat trick, since they appear not to be drawing what they need. Well, hang on. They could play a land, go to 1, 2, 3, 4. They could 5, 6. Okay, they could play Snoop this turn. Since, or they could play Muxus, since the Snoop allows is allowed to sort of copy activated effects from Goblins on the top of your deck. So you can always use the Skirks or the Prospector's ability to cheat out a Muxus. Though that would eat his entire board. So we'll go ahead and Trickster. We'll go ahead and get rid of the Snoop's abilities till the end of the turn, and we'll block the Chieftain. Since we really enjoy getting rid of their hasty boys. If we could try like a blue source, that'd be great. Not gonna lie. Ah, the Krinka, which is honestly a good thing to get rid of. It's not really what I want. I think we're going to play the Silvergill, revealing a Trident, since we really got to look for a land card. Oh boy. Untapped land, please. Thank you, I just made sure to be particular this time. What do we do here? I think we're just gonna let this go. We have a Memory Lapse in our hand. Okay, there's just another mountain on the top. We'll play the Skirk, which makes sense, to be entirely honest. Activate their mob boss to make a buttload of mana. Okay, that's actually really good. We're going to go ahead and attack with the Esper Sentinel, since we either will draw a card or gain 2 life, which is more relevant than you would think. If he chooses to double block, that's totally fine with me. Again, this is more for the life gain aspect. Second main, we will Time Warp, returning our Adept to our hand. Oh, it's giving him Skirk Prospector mana, but yeah, there's nothing for him to really do with that. He could always just, I was about to say, just legit play it, which is a little awkward. Again, we'll go ahead and Silvergill, revealing a Master of the Pearl Trident. I mean, that's a thing. Okay, that's something. I think we have to just sit and wait. And just hope to the heavens above he doesn't draw the magical thing. He makes a good old Gobbo token. But does nothing else with his turn. Thank God for a land card. So we can Staggering Insight on our Silvergill. We'll go ahead and just attack. Maybe he blocks, or maybe he lets us draw a card, both of which are a-okay with me. Again, this way we still hold the memory lapse open, so we don't gotta worry as much. Again, he's making a lot of dudes, which is a thing. Does he attack with the 1? He doesn't. Again, likely the smart choice here. Okay, so if we do a Reejerey, we still have God's Willing and Memory Lapse open. Go ahead and attack. If he chooses to triple block, really choosing to do that. I honestly think we just kind of God's Willing our Silvergill, naming red. Don't need another land, so I can get to the bottom. And this ensures a safe trade, and still we get our life. Of course, we can always... I should have played that land. I am a dum-dum. Okay, this is good. We're really messing up their vibes here. So we'll go ahead and now play the cave, so we don't mess that up again. So we can... Okay, hang on. We might be able to... If not kill him, really mess him up here. So we play a Reejerey, tapping down his blocker. Then I can play a Master of the Pearl Trident, untapping and untapping 2 sources of land. We can play another Master of the Pearl Trident, doing the same thing. And now they're sort of functioning as... Merfolk equivalents of Burning Tree Emissaries. Again, third... Yeah! Alright! And that was our blue-white tempo-y Merfolk video for the day. Remember to like the video if you liked it, sub if you like my content, and if you have any sort of, questions or comments, as long as they're civil, that's what the comments are for. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!